What's up, guys? My name is Newton Joseph, and you have just tuned in to Miscellaneous Religion. The topic that will be covered within this video is what is religion? The definition of religion is one that is highly contested amongst many people, between both scholars and non scholars, between practitioners and non practitioners of religion. When the topic of religion is brought up in discussion, it can cause great debate or conflict or even agreement. Bringing it up in conversation can elicit feelings of joy, a feeling of indifference, or sometimes even a feeling of disgust. With that being said, it is my belief that everyone should seek to understand what exactly is religion, because I believe whether we like it or not, it has a huge impact amongst all of us around the world. I should say before I go any further in this video that both the YouTube channels called Religion for Breakfast and Let's Talk Religion had done some really insightful videos on this topic. And I want you guys to see their videos as well. So I will leave a link to their videos in the description of this video, and you could go over there and watch their video and like their video and show them some love. So let us now circle back to the topic. What is religion? First and foremost, let me say that within scholarly discourse, there is no clear definition as to what is religion. Sure, there are dictionary definitions and quotes from many scholars that give a definition to the word, but when you look at religion and consider it from a global perspective, you will begin to understand that the definition of religion is very muddy, and the word can be used to describe a whole host of beliefs and practices. The Merriam-Webster's dictionary seeks to give an essential meaning to religion by giving three main definitions to religion. The first definition that they gave was the belief in a god or a group of gods. And an example of how that would be used in a sentence would be, many people turn to religion for comfort in a time of crisis. The second definition that they gave was an organized system of beliefs, ceremonies, and rules used to worship a god or a group of gods. And an example of how this would be used in a statement or a sentence would be, there are many religions such as Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, and Judaism. And the third definition that they gave was an informal one, which is an interest, a belief, or an activity that is very important to a person or a group. And an example of how that would be used in a statement would be like, hockey is a religion in Canada, or another statement like, politics are a religion to him. As far as the etymology of the word religion within the English language goes, the word religion comes from the Old French and Anglo-Norman language within approximately 13th century AD. And within those languages, it means respect for a sense of right, moral obligation, sanctity, what is sacred, reverence for the gods. However, the word religion is ultimately derived from the Latin word religio. According to the Roman philosopher Marcus Tullius Cicero, religio comes from religare, which comprises of re, which means again, plus lego, which means read, where lego is in the sense of go over, choose, or consider carefully. However, some scholars such as Tom Harper and Joseph Campbell have argued that religio is derived from religare, of which is comprised of the parts re, which means again, plus legare, which means bind or connect. With all of this being said, even with this formal definition and etymology I've just given, many can argue that this still fails to grasp the broader understanding of what truly is religion. I believe Andrew Mark Henry from Religion for Breakfast sums it up by his remarks in his video also named What is Religion, in which he states, religion is a subjective term with a very blurry definition and a contested definition depending on who is using the term. Andrew from Religion for Breakfast also posited that although the etymology exists, our English word religion has little to do with religio, and its definition encompasses both the Roman understanding of religio and another term, superstitio. According to the Romans, their usage of the term religio was in reference to the socially acceptable cultic duties that were done in reverence for the gods. However, religio was in opposition to the unsanctioned, suspicious religious rituals and beliefs, which were classified under the term superstitio. Hence, as a result, Christians originally fell under the branch of superstitio because the Romans saw it as the wrong way to relate to the gods. This is important to note because this would mean that the Romans' definition of religion does not match our modern definition of religion, which would encompass both what the Romans thought of as religio and superstitio under the same concept. Hence, our category of religion is a modern term strongly shaped by the past 100 years of Western scholarship. Therefore, the Western understanding of religion really doesn't exist as a category in other cultures in the past, or even some in the present, and especially not in the ancient Roman civilization, which used the term religio in reference to religion. So let us now discuss some of the Western scholars who gave their definitions to religion. Edward Burnett Tylor, the anthropologist, defined religion as simply a belief in spiritual beings. He stated this belief originated as explanation of natural phenomena. Beliefs in spirits grew out of attempts to explain life and death. Tylor argued that animism is the true natural religion, that is the essence of religion. It answers the questions of which religion came first, and which religion is essentially the most basic and foundation of all religions. For him, animism was the best answer to these religions, so it must be the true foundation of all religions. With that being said, his definition of religion has been rejected by modern anthropologists, dismissing the notion as too simplistic or minimalist, to say the least. Andrew from Religion for Breakfast posits that what is more popular today is defining religion as a fundamentally social phenomenon, something that reflects the needs and concerns of society above everything else. Emile Durkheim, the sociologist, is the most famous champion of this position. He defines religion as a unified system of beliefs and practices relative to sacred things, that is to say, things set apart and forbidden. Beliefs and practices which unite in one single moral community called the church, all those who adhere to them. He focuses on society, the single unified community that he refers to, a single moral community. For Durkheim, religion is a form of custom that socializes individuals into a larger community, and which provides an obligation to that individual to live by the society's rules. For Durkheim, religious beliefs and practices lend an ultimate aura of the ultimate significance to society and the ideology that society holds as important. The position is very important to scholars today, and Andrew from Religion for Breakfast admits that he has lent a lot of his thinking to Durkheim. Since religion is so complex, some scholars have given up trying to come up with one unified definition of religion, and instead they try to argue for a family resemblances definition. Ludwig Wittgenstein most famously applied this strategy to games. It might not be possible to find a single characteristic that we can apply to all games, but it is possible to identify similarities. For example, there's very little resemblance between Connect 4 and basketball, but they have family resemblances enough to fall under the category of a game. For example, they both have rules, they both have opponents, and they are both used for leisure. Robert Oddie comprised a list of family resemblances that he would apply to religion, which would be a belief in supernatural beings, a distinction between the sacred and profane, ritual acts focused on sacred/profane objects, and a moral code believed to be sanctioned by divine beings, etc. According to this strategy, not all of these characteristics have to be present to label something a religion, but if it has 5 or 6 of them, it is probably a religion. So, what is the one unifying theme that will bring all of these definitions together? Ironically, the one unifying theme is that all of these definitions come from Western scholars within the past 100 years of history. Here is why that is important. This can suggest that religion as a category may have been developed by Western scholars. We really want a 1 or 2 sentence definition of religion, something we can apply to religion no matter the context or the belief system or the culture. However, as complex as religion is, that may not always be possible. You can probably always find an exception to your definition of religion. It might be more helpful to think of religion as an analytical category of our own design. Jonathan Z. Smith explains it like this: religion is not a native term. It is a term created by scholars for their intellectual purposes, and therefore it is theirs to define. It is a second-order generic concept that plays the same role in establishing a disciplinary horizon that a concept such as language plays in linguistics or culture plays in anthropology. What J.Z. Smith is arguing is that there is no archetypal definition of religion that we can perfectly apply to any culture. Religion is a subjective analytical term whose meaning depends on the person using it and on the questions they use to illuminate, as stated by Lucas F. Johnston. This means that religion is a fundamentally contested concept. We don't just see this in the world of scholars as they try to define it, we also see this play out in popular culture. We have people arguing, is Scientology a religion? Is Jediism a religion? There is even a famous book that argues that Coca-Cola is a religion. For those of you who wanted a more tidy definition of religion, I know that this might be frustrating. However, if you want a more concrete or objective definition, I recommend following the family resemblances definition. However, for the time being, be aware that religion is a very subjective term and something very hard to define. When someone uses the term religion, you can now ask yourself, are they using this term to define belief in God? Are they using it to refer to ritual practice? What perspective are they bringing to the term? You will recognize that different people will use the word to refer to different things. This will help you navigate discussions about religion, which too often lack complexity and the nuance they deserve. Religion is subjective, and while that may be confusing, I would argue that that's okay. If you have stayed till the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for watching, and it is my hope that this video was both informative and entertaining for you. With that being said, I encourage you to like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you can get more content from this channel. And join me and the rest of our subscribers as we embark on a scholarly journey to discuss and learn more about religion. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. This is Miscellaneous Religion. Peace.
To every man and nation, come.